Greetings, sisters and brothers. Proof B here, and welcome to my headquarters in the Leimert Park area. And come on in, and I'll introduce myself. First of all, let's talk about what I'm about. This is a quote from the Bible. The Bible. People say, and I will. This is God now. This is not Moses. This is not Abraham. This is not Jesus. This is God. And I will raise up for them. You gotta talk like that when you doing God. I will raise up for them a plant of renown, and they shall be no more consumers with hunger in the land, neither bear the shame of the heathen any. Well, I put this in more, or any more. Ezekiel 34:29. Now, I do have a temple church. The IRS makes me call it a church. I'm going to get a sign made one day, but I just like the way I kind of painted this myself. The temple is this temple that we're in now, because there's two parts. There's the Afro-Asiatic, getting into the I-Ching and all that type of stuff, and then there is the Kemetic. And while I'm talking, let me turn on some. Where is the music? So, I-Ching Dao Temple is the school, I guess, that I'm into now, because I'm teaching my GungFu. And this is my GungFu. Oh, let me welcome you to my book, which is also my temple. I'm laying out everything on the walls that's going to be a part of my book, and I'm gonna do different videos on each part, but this is my GungFu. GungFu is the Cantonese. So I teach the yoga, Taoist yoga. The I-Ching itself is an oracle, which is really crazy right now because there are 64 hexagrams in the oracle. And this year that I decided to, actually I didn't decide to come out this year. I wanted to get my Kung Fu out there because it's like cannabis, GungFu. I was ready to come out in April, out here, 420. It was perfect. It was on a Saturday, you understand, and 420 fell on Saturday, and I was getting ready to introduce my cannabis GungFu, and then y'all all know what happened. Rona came. I hate that bitch. But anyway, I'm gonna get into all this. Well, I was saying that I'm 64 now, and in hexagrams, or in the I-Ching, there are 64 hexagrams. So I'm not gonna get deep into the Kung Fu right now. I'm gonna just talk about me. I'll come back to that. And the other thing I will come back to is the hemp. The hemp business that I'm promoting. I want people to come out to the land and learn how to do a hemp and superfoods, and that's going to be a whole video by itself. But right now, what is my Kung Fu background? Well, first of all, I started out as an introvert as a young man, and I had a couple of operations by the time I was 18. But then I went into the Marine Corps. Hoorah! Hoorah! So I'm a Marine Corps vet. I both with the 45 and the M16A1 rifle, I was expert. I was in charge. This is my office. I was 20 years old. I had a $250,000 budget to buy weapon parts. I had to look up these parts. There was no computers. We had this thing called a microfist. So anyway, that's me in my office at the actually in Okinawa, Japan. This is when I worked for the NASA. Now look at this. This patch I got from a company called Aeroflex, and they made movie cameras. And I was the guy, because that's what I learned in the Marine Corps, I was the guy that ordered the camera and sent it to the space shuttle. And guess what? That's the space shuttle that the brother McNeil was on. And guess what? They blew it up. So these doubles only gave me a Lance Corporal I got out. And the work I did, even in secret logistics, I should have got a lot more. But I went through it. I went through boot camp, and I got out. I got an honorable discharge, all that good shit. So I get out, and when I was a Marine, or when I was a Marine, I was a hero. But as soon as I got out and said, yo, these people taught me some stuff. Let's do our own thing. Everybody's like, nah, we ain't into that. So anyway, I came out and I studied dance. And I performed in Harlem Week, and my teacher was Lee Thompson. You understand? And we did some things. I actually performed while my mother was there at my old high school, Theodore Roosevelt in the Bronx. That was really cool. I loved it. My mom was there. And at the same time, I started studying Tai Chi. And eventually, after, I started studying, I think, in 80. And then after 10 years, I started teaching. So this was my first class at the Dow School of Shotokan in the Bronx. And from there, I kind of rose pretty quickly. I started doing the same brother that brought me in, Richard Dozier, that brought me in and got me started teaching, also brought me to Harlem and introduced me to Lamar Thornton, which is like the big time brother, biggest karate guy in the world type guy. And I performed at, my first performance first demonstration, first Tai Chi demonstration. And then from there, I started teaching youth at the El Faro after school program, in Harlem. Now I'm back home. This is where I was born, in Harlem. And then I went on to other things. I taught youth at the National Collegiate Athletic Association, and that was a program they had for youth. And from there, my best friend and Kung Fu brother, Ben Hill Bay, Sifu Ben Hill Bay, started getting me work and doing demonstrations and things. So this is like one of the things we got into. When I was actually out here, I was a judge of the Tai Chi ceremonies or the Tai Chi program. And I missed something. This should have been first. We ended up doing, the last thing I did in my short and fast career was the master's demonstration at this college. What is it? Where's the college? Well, anyway, I think it's called the Borough of Manhattan Community College. And, Ben Hill Bay got me into that. And these are two write-ups from two different Kung Fu magazines. I don't know if my hand stopped shaking enough, but they mentioned both me and Sifu Ben Yeah, we somewhere over here. And I tried to change my, oh no, on this one I tried to change my name and I messed it up. But anyway, these are the original things from the Kung Fu magazines that they talked about us. And that was kind of like the last thing I did in the Kung Fu world. And just before I got out of New York, taught children at another after-school program, and then I made enough money to go down south. First, I went to Virginia, and then I ended up in Georgia, and I started teaching at the famous YMCA down there. I started out actually at the YMCA. I forgot that part. This is the YMCA in Harlem where Malcolm X and all kinds of famous people went to. And then I went to Georgia and started teaching at the YMCA, where Martin Luther, right down the block from Martin Luther King's church, his father. I even taught a few classes down there at the Martin Luther King Center, all that. You understand? So, I had a pretty fast career. And the brother that brought me into the YMCA, Coach Samaj Floyd, was my boxing coach. And he is the brother that taught Evander Holyfield for the Olympics. He also, for the Olympics that came to Atlanta, he also taught the boxing team that was called the Wrecking Crew, and they wrecked because this brother knew about boxing. So he gave me the boxing side of my Tai Chi Bo. Like I said, well, we're gonna get into the Tai Chi Bo stuff later. So that was Brother Samaj Floyd, well-known trainer, believe me. And my last work, I came back or went back to New York and ended up right back where I did where is it at? Where I did the master's demonstration, right? We did the master's demonstration at the Borough Manhattan Community College. And my last job, I went back to New York and worked for 8 classes. I did 8 classes of the teachers for the teachers there at the college, and those 8 classes I made $675. 8 classes. So that was the last time I worked for money. So you can see that was what 19. Oh, I'm not even 19. This is 2008, right? So since then, I've been putting my Kung Fu together and all that good stuff. So, like I said, this is going to have to be a whole nother video by itself. But this is what I call Tai Chi Bo. You understand? And it's actually, well, I'm not even going to get into all that right now. I moved out after that last class. After a while, I took care of my mom for a few years. California homeowners, if you are and then, why are they having commercials? You can get paid today. Anyway, oh yeah, that's my green jade dragon uniform. That's the Kung Fu Life. So when I got out to California, I moved out to the beach, out in Venice Beach, and I set up my table. That box in the back of the table I used to live in on the beach while everybody else was sleeping on the beach. See how it's laid out where the blue is, like I'd lay in there and then I could close that door when I wasn't using it and I can go on about my business. But I was selling little knickknacks, but this is where I started the temple, on the beach. I actually got my certificate while living on the beach for a year. And then I went ahead and finally got an apartment. And I tried to get some brothers and sisters together. They had talent and stuff, but they were some crazy ass people, so they ended up burning down my apartment. And this is where we're going. I have the land, and the next thing I can get these domes. We can make these domes, and start doing events and all that stuff. So you're gonna see me promoting. It's about getting out the cities right now, but we're not gonna get into all that right now. So, Magu, I usually say Magu. Zian Sho. Magu, or divine marijuana, brings immortality. That's what my temple, church, whatever you want to call it, is about. It's not about believing in something. It's about taking a seed, planting it in the ground, growing two separate things. The hemp is the male plant, and the marijuana is the female plant. That's the stuff we smoke. That's the stuff that gives you self-realization and all that good stuff. But the hemp, we can make clothes, we can make fuel, we can make bricks, we can make houses out of a plant. This is incredible to me. So this is the purpose of my temple, not no belief in some being, some white dude in the sky gonna come save the world, all that. Okay, don't let me get started. So, so as I said, this is my book on my walls. I'm spreading my book out and I'm getting my book together. So that's why I got everything taped up on the walls. But this is called the Daonomics. So that's going to be a whole nother tape by itself. And that system is under Divorcing the American Doll. You know what a doll is? It's a representation of a real thing. Okay, so we're gonna learn how to get out of money. We're gonna learn how to heal ourselves. This is these I have on all 8 corners. There's one over behind the door. Those exercises go with the Daonomics. So I have a few different books I'm about to come out with. The Tai Chi Bo book, Tai Chi Bo, KungFu. This is my, I like doing stuff by hand. I wrote everything over here is written down over here. I'm not gonna get into all that right now. I'm gonna do a separate video on that. So that's kind of like me, or that's my story of my kung fu, my short kung fu career in the limelight, and then for the last however many years it took me to get all this together. Now it's together. We got the land, I got a plan, I got a van, I'm a man, I got 2 hands, and we're about to do this thing. No, we're not about to do it. I already started. Everybody else gonna have to catch up. So, you know what? I think I'm all out. Hey.